Continue learning 5 minutes of tefillah a day. Yesterday, Rav Shimshon Pincus began a rather deep point in which the type of tefillah we're discussing of pilul, which comes to the word of mishpat, of judgment. He said if we're going to discuss judgment, let's discuss emes. Let's figure out what is the truth. And for a quick review, he explained there's something called circumstantial proof, which is basically everything in this world. And then there's something called essentially truth, which is God, Hashem himself. That Hashem is the only truth in its very nature. And he said, so if you think about this on a deep way, you think, what is truth? Hashem. What else is truth? That I'm standing right here in front of Hashem. What else is truth? That little me standing in front of big God means a lot. And what else is truth? That my whole life Hashem has kept me alive and given me so much. And therefore I have so much to thank him for. And I have so much to ask him for. So says Rav Shimshon Pincus, just from the thought of what is emes and what is truth, when one in a moment of real contemplation, of course, this is a heavy section, thinking about what is absolute truth at the very moment of tefillah, one could come to this incredible realization that Hashem is true, and it's true that I'm talking to him right now, and I need him, and he's keeping me alive, and I have so much to thank him for. Says Rav Shimshon Pincus, you know what this means? What this means is, through the thought of what is truth, we have come to the three main components of tefillah. Number one, praising Hashem, when we realize how much Hashem has done for us. Number two, asking Hashem for our needs, when we realize how much we need. And number three, thanking him for the incredible life, the incredible everything that we have at this very moment. And he says from that point, parts in Mimela, it sprouts forth automatically at that moment of thought. Automatically comes one to tefillah, and that is the form of tefillah in its purest form. Lishbait mishpat emes. They all we're doing is saying what is true, and at the moment of truth, what happens? Lis oirer, it awakens lahargish, and we can feel as barak ha'emes. What's barak? Barak is that it bursts forth like a lightning bolt. It bursts forth. And it comes out of his heart when he realizes this truth. So in this section, Rav Pincus has taught us that tefillah is a judgment as we realize that which is true is Hashem. That which is true, that we need Hashem, and he's given us so much. And he continues, and in the next section, he goes maybe even a little bit deeper. And let's think for a moment together. If you look at the table in front of you, what do you see? If it's a wooden table, do you say, I see a piece of wood? No. You say, I see a table. If it's a metal table, do you say, I see a piece of metal? No. You see a table. Because a human being has the ability to perceive more than what's right in front of your eyes. When I'm looking at my computer, I don't say, I see a piece of glass. I see a computer. The second example he gives is when you see a car, do you say, I see a layer of paint, which is the outermost layer? Of course not. Do you even say, I see metal, which is the next layer? No. Which is, he mentions, an animal would even notice that there's something more than paint, that there's metal there. But what does the human being perceive? The entire form of the object, which is that it's a car, that it's a table, that it's a computer. And with this, he comes to paint a beautiful picture, which we're going to describe more tomorrow, which is when we look up, sitting outside here, we might say, I see the heavens, I see clouds. He says, but if you think a little bit deeper, you don't just see the heavens and the clouds. What does it mean that you see the heavens and the clouds? Is you see entities that were created by Hashem, that are always going to be praising and functioning to serve Hashem. And he says, when you think about it, this is what it means that Moshe Rabbeinu saw baspaklaria me'ira, with perfect precision and clarity. You know what that means? That means we could see a few layers. I don't just see the glass, I see the computer behind it. someone greater could see even more, could see even deeper. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't just see a cloud that praised Hashem, he even sees deeper than that the other celestial beings. And of course, where this is going to lead to is that at the moment of tefillah, at the moment of emes, we come to realize the world that we're standing in is a lot more than just the dimension in front of us, but the depth behind it, which is praising Hashem. We'll pick up from this detail, B'siyata D'Shmaya, tomorrow.